In this balloon how-to, I'm going to show you how to make a very simple balloon sculpture using a range of Qualitex balloons. We're going to start off by using 5-inch rounds, and I need to inflate them to approximately 4.5 inches. You can work with a hand pump, or you could work with an electric inflator in a sizing box or a precision air inflator. Obviously with an electric pump and a precision air you're going to work much faster, and therefore your designs are going to be way more profitable than working with a hand pump. I'm going to use the hand pump as a sizer, and I'm going to put 5 pumps into my balloon. Once I've inflated them to the correct size, I need to tie them into a dupla. And I'm going to strap one over the other and tie them very tightly. Once I've made 2 duplets, I'm going to twist these into a 4 balloon cluster. And we do this by twisting them once, and I like to twist them twice. And I'm going to position those flat onto my base. Now I'm going to make my second cluster, and I'm going to inflate these a little bit smaller to approximately 4 inches. 1, 2, 3. And again. So I'm using the pumps, 1, 2, 3, to give me accurate sizing. And again, I'm going to take a second one of these and twist them together to make my second cluster of 4. You can attach them in several different ways. One of the nicest or tightest ways to actually take a balloon from the base, bring it carefully up and round, and twist it around and back into its original position. Once I've done this, you'll see that the balloons are very tightly secured. Because it's going to be a design that is for a delivery or a gift, I'm going to add a weight in the base, otherwise it will be a little bit unstable. I've just made a very simple water weight here. Alternatively, you could fill a balloon with sand and make a sand weight, or you could use a pre-bought weight. When you're working with water, I always make sure I double stuff my balloons to make sure they're very, very strong and durable. Take your water weight, make it sure it's small enough so it will fit neatly into the design. If it's too big, the design will be unstable. And I'm pulling that through and just creating that figure of 8. So now we've got a nice strong base. To give the design a little height, I'm going to work with a 646Q balloon. And again, I'm going to use my hand pump on this occasion. I don't need the full length of this balloon. It's a maximum of 46 inches long, which is going to be way too long. I'm just going to use a very small amount, just to give a little bit of height, as I said already. So the first thing we need to do is just let a little bit of air out to reduce the tension, and I want to make sure I've got a nice long tying neck. So I'm just going to twist it like so and knot it. Now you can see I've got a very good length of neck, which I can pull deeply into my design and again create that wonderful figure of 8 motion that's going to make sure it's nice and secure. I can adjust the size from here. If I want to make it smaller, I can squeeze it, or in this case actually it's not so bad. So I'm just going to push all the air right back into the balloon, twist it, and then if I remove the excess air from the balloon, it'll make it a little bit tighter. It's easier to tie and tie it onto that twist. So now I've created the base and a little bit of body. I now want to create the neckline. I'm going to repeat the same cluster size as I did here, which was when I made the 3 pumps. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So approximately 4 inches. And again, we're going to twist that into a cluster of 4. But before I add it, I'm going to finish off with my final cluster of 4, and for that one I'm just going to make it even smaller, just one single pump, which gives me about a 2.5 inch balloon. And when we underinflate a balloon, it's important that we squeeze them, stretching the latex from the base to the top and making it nice and clear. And again, creating that cluster of 4. We're going to do exactly as we did at the base. We're going to twist the base cluster around the second cluster, making that very tight cluster, like so. And now we're just going to slide the balloons onto the uninflated part of the 646, pulling it nice and tight, and again wrapping that round in a simple figure of 8 motion. And at this point I can actually remove any excess balloon. And this is a really neat, strong base for our design. We're going to make it really easy. We're going to use a Qualatex 18-inch foil. I'm going to use the smiley face, and I'm just going to inflate it with air. When you're inflating a foil balloon with air, you need to be very careful that we don't rupture the valve and damage it. Therefore, I would not ever recommend using an electric inflator, because it really will damage that. There are inflators on the market that are suitable for inflating foils, and they are low pressure inflators. I'm just going to carefully use a hand pump. And I've seen many people inflate foils and they tend to overinflate them a little bit. You still need to leave some creases in the balloon. Even air will react to temperature changes, so if it gets very hot, the balloon can still expand. So it's very much as it would look if it was filled with helium, but on this case, or in this instance, it's filled with air. I'm just going to take a 160 and just cut it in half. I'm going to use that 160 just to roll the neck of the balloon up. This will work as a good fixing point into my design. Just tie that nice and tight, and again, and you can see that's very secure, and I can just pull that balloon directly into that top cluster. And again, just do a few twists around to make sure it's nice and secure. Now, I would like to give my characters some arms. In this particular DVD, I don't want to show you any twisting techniques, because I know that there are some of you out there that don't twist, so we're going to start off very simple. But we will use a 350Q. We can use a selection of colours. We can pick out different ones. We could use the pale pink to match the body. We could continue with the rose, or we could actually introduce the lilac as in on the face. I think on this occasion I'm going to continue with the rose. Now all we need to do with these is cut them in half. I'm going to inflate the balloon right into the tip. And this means that we've got an end rather than a knot. I don't think it looks very nice when we make the hand with the knotted end. Now to work out how long we need it to be, we want it to sit down the body, so just going to let some air out. And that fits in really nicely. Just twist and knot. And maybe just give it a little bit of a curvature just by gently bending it, and you can see how nice you've got a shape there. I'm going to take the second one. Get my hand pump in. There we go. Again, inflate it to the very end. Make them both the same. Just going to put a little bit more air back into that one. I've probably taken too much out of it. Knot it again. Just give it a nice bit of movement as before. So now we have our two little arms. tie them together, but this time tie them as a stretch duplet. Remove any excess balloon, bring your design forward, take the stretch, bring it between the clusters, and then you'll find that the arms will sit nicely in position. There are many different things that we can do with this technique. We can add so many extra details, but I'll be doing that in future video clips. I want to show you the same design but using a 16-inch latex for the head, and this will allow you to have different pricing points. Obviously the latex being cheaper than using a foil, but still getting great results. Thank you very much.